1 was silly, 2 was hilarious, 3 is crazy. A sure bet for Wednesday laughter at 8 on Central.
You gotta carry it. Otherwise, no bet.
The bet's on. It's Smokey and the Bandit 3. These little old Texas folk will have you in stitches. Meet the clan and watch how southern folk avoid heavy traffic.
Want to go fishing?
I'm game.
Let's go.
Bye, boys.
It's the Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit 3 on Central.
In the next hour, there's Sons and Daughters at 3:30, Disney cartoons at 4, David Copperfield's Magic Show at 4:15, and following next, it's Central News.
Try to remember when butter was at a price like new Willow. Willow from Dairy Crest. A buttery taste at a price that takes you back a few years.
Comrades, I have bad news from Britain. This heating unit hides a remarkable secret. It works on less than half-price electricity. It's fitted faster than you can say Jack Robinovich. It has sophisticated controls for day-long warmth. I'm afraid, comrades, the British are winning the Cold War. They can buy these storage heaters from MEB now with 6 months interest-free credit.
Comrades, we must mobilize our forces.
New generation storage heaters from MEB. Everybody's rushing for them.
Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to show all you lovers of the cathode ray how to make your very own copy of the IBA Yearbook. First take a blank book like this, then stuff it full of photographs and features about all your favourite independent television stars and programmes, a little behind-the-scenes information, a dash of independent local radio, and voila. But in the best traditions of television, here's one I made earlier.
Television and Radio 1988, out now.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Central zooming into 88 with super action and Superman 2. A fantasy which spans the universe and the imagination. A tonic for everyone. A celebration of action and adventure, of the power of good over evil, of superhuman strength, and just a little human weakness for romance. New Year's Day entertainment at 4.
Never thought this thing would go the distance.
Superman 2, action all the way. It once cost just £10 to emigrate.
We sailed into Sydney Harbour and it was a bit of a shock. It was on a cold winter's day and it was raining, something we had never anticipated. And we were loaded on a train and taken over the mountains to a farm up in the west of New South Wales.
The 10 Quid Tourists, a Friday special at 10:15 on Central.
Good afternoon. First, today's headlines. Downing Street is considering taking action against the Sun newspaper for breaking an embargo by publishing the New Year's Honours list. And the Archbishop of Canterbury has backed the Bishop of Ripon's ban on employing practising homosexuals. Here in the Central region, Wolverhampton health officials have backed down over plans to close a hospital ward after patients threatened to tie themselves to their beds. The row is over plans to close the 20-bed dermatology ward at New Cross Hospital in Wolverhampton as part of spending cuts. The ward was due to shut yesterday, but protests by patients and staff forced the health authority to reconsider their decision. And today the hospital announced the closure would be delayed while talks continue with medical staff. Police in Oxford are investigating a fire which caused £5,000 worth of damage at a university sports ground. Last night, intruders set fire to netting at Oriel College Sports Pavilion. Police say nothing was stolen. Now, football, and Aston Villa have agreed a £500,000 deal to sell winger Mark Walters to league champions Everton. Walters, who's refused to sign a new contract with Villa, travelled to Merseyside this morning for talks with Everton manager Colin Harvey. The transfer is expected to go through later today, although there is speculation in Scotland of a counterbid for Walters from Glasgow Rangers. Surgeons have failed to save the arm of a young farm worker from Staffordshire. George Turner, who's 18, lost his arm in an accident with a corn grinder. He was taken to Derby Royal Infirmary, but surgeons decided the severed arm was too badly damaged to sew back on. A hospital radio service in Shropshire may have to close down because of mounting debts. Volunteers say that since British Telecom put its charges up after privatisation, they can't afford to pay the bills. Keith Wilkinson reports.
For thousands of patients, these bedside radio speakers are a godsend. People like 77-year-old Ben Stevens rely on them as one of their only links with the outside world. For 25 years, the Shropshire Hospital Radio Service has kept them in touch. But it's a link that could soon be lost, thanks to this, a bill for £2,400 from British Telecom. It's an annual charge for the use of lines that link the tiny studio, run by volunteers, to 11 hospital sites. At one time, they used to get those lines at a special cheap rate. But since privatisation, BT has insisted, charity or not, they'll have to pay the full whack. What would it mean to you if it was actually to go, that you were to lose the hospital broadcasting?
That'd be very bad show, I think, if it does go.
And it will go if they can't raise the cash for the bills, because British Telecom say they can't make an exception.
For some children, playtime is also a dangerous time. As Liz Pike explains, one girl from Walsall has to be extra careful when it comes to the rough and tumble of the playground.
When Claire Yates goes out to play near her home in Chase Terrace, she always wears a hat. Not just any hat, it's made of extra strong foam rubber to protect her when she falls, which is quite often, because Claire, who's 5, suffers from a rare form of epilepsy which causes sudden blackouts. She's taken more tumbles than her parents can remember, but these days, playtime with Sister Laura is a lot safer.
So I can put her out in the garden without fear of her hurting her head. And also she has it on in the living room if I'm upstairs or in the kitchen. So if she does have a tumble, her head is protected.
So no more bumps?
Well, she does have the bumps, but not quite as bad as it was before.
A 1929 vintage bus took an unusual route in Stoke-on-Trent today. For the past 15 years, it's been a special feature on the second floor of a nightclub. But the club's being refurbished, and the only way out for the bus was up and through the roof. Now it's being bought by a local businessman who plans to restore it and use it for trips around the potteries. And finally, a trip round the weather. It'll be mild with rain at times and some wind. Maximum temperature 11 Celsius, 52 Fahrenheit. And that's it from the newsroom. We'll be back at 6 o'clock with a full roundup. See you then.
Into 88 with Central and Des O'Connor tonight.
Tell them what you just told me.
Celebrate with the stars. A spectacular live hour-long party to welcome the new year in style. Live links with Trafalgar Square and celebrities partying on the Thames. Make it a night to remember all year long with Des O'Connor tonight. New Year's Eve fun at 11:15 on Central.
And the Crossroads Christmas Review is this evening at 6:35 here on Central.
Walls have created a spectacular ice cream dessert called Viennetta. But despite its deliciously rich ice cream and its irresistible crisp chopped layers, Viennetta could leave you with one small problem. Wall's Viennetta. One slice is never enough.
Why live with a noisy brute when you can get your hands on the strong, silent type?
Braun Silencio.
Auntie Pat's popping round.
Spar. So near, so good.
To find out more about the past, discover Discovery. In the first kit, you'll find out what Elizabethan life was really like.
We'll have to cut it off. It'll really hurt.
Starting with Queen Elizabeth I, Discovery centres on a famous character and deals with important events of the time, like the Armada, with a special pack containing maps, models and realistic documents. Discovery really brings the past to life. Discovery, history at your fingertips.
Gonna want it, gonna want it, gonna want it, gonna want it.
Being brighter, lasting longer, staying lighter, growing stronger.
The way we're living today, still gonna want bottle.
Calcium.
Bottle.
It's
vitamins, protein.
We like his country life. There's no better butter to put on your knife. Don't take our word, ask Ernie's wife. She's always singing about it.
Country like butter is English and best.
With a taste of the country that's creamy and fresh.
I'll stick to me favourite and skip all the rest.
So I never go without it. Oh, never! Never, never, never.
Country life. You'll never put a better bit of butter on your knife.
The CNA Great Sale starts Friday.
The news you read today often happened yesterday, and situations can change between the presses and the newsstands. Directly linked to ITN, Oracle's headlines are on the air in minutes and free to anyone with teletext. Page your Oracle for the news, as it happens.
Everyone likes a drink on New Year's Eve, but not this drink.
Stinking headache coming on. You don't have any aspirin, do you? Yes. To George. To George.
This is the very last toast she'll make. Because this is Agatha Christie's Sparkling Cyanide. One sip is enough.
She's dead.
New Year's Eve mystery at 7:40 on Central. Agatha Christie's Sparkling Cyanide.
And this afternoon, David Copperfield's magic show from China begins at 4:15, but before then we've got some cartoons. And Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck will be here in a moment.
Auntie Pat's popping round.
Spar. So near, so good.
Emma doesn't get cross when one of her brood needs changing. No, she just improvises, using the Kleenex Velvet toilet tissue with its special velvety softness and its celebrated strength. Kleenex Velvet. Long enough and strong enough for children, grown-ups, and even bears, when they can get away with it.
Kleenex Velvet. Softness is our strength.
Gonna want it. Gonna want it. Gonna want it. Gonna want it.
Body active, body passive, body slim and body massive.
The way we're living today, still gonna want bottle.
Whole milk.
Bottle.
Skimmed milk.
Bottle.
Semi-skimmed.
Bottle. Gonna want bottle. Gonna want bottle. Gonna want.
Anybody here book with Pickfords Travel?
Yes. We did.
Then you will be able to tell us where the nearest petrol station is.
Before you go on holiday, talk to the people at your Pickfords Travel shop.
Just past the secret missile base.
They often know more than the locals do.
It's the time that you take, it's a coke, it's a break, it's a pause in the beat, a cool from the heat. Ah, just what I need. It's a hit.